Hi vinyl community, John back again. This is my part 2 of my heavy metal records. So I'm going to start now, going through A. I'm not going to bother showing some of the sort of more, household name, mainstream things. We're listening to Aerosmith, first album. Great punchy production, really good record. I'm not going to show any more Aerosmith though. Everybody knows about Aerosmith. I will start off with Accept. This is the first album by Accept. Even what it's called, probably just called Accept. 1979. And then I'm going to show Balls to the Wall by Accept. This came out a little bit later on. It's like a weird little gatefold sleeve, inner sleeve. Okay, they're a German band. Next one I'm going to show is Acid Rain. This is a British band. And it's like a thrash band. There are a few British thrash bands, but none of them really kind of come to much. Not really. I think the scene really kind of belonged to the States, and particularly the San Francisco scene. But some of the, I think, in my own opinion, some of the thrash bands that kind of happened in the UK like this were quite poor, a bit more of a kind of parody, I think. I do know that a lot of the members in this band went on to join other groups afterwards. I don't know which one of them, but I think one of them went away with Lee Dorian from Napalm Death and formed the Cathedral, something like that. Next is Alcatraz. Not one of their better albums. I think this is a latter one, and it is after Ingram Malmsteen had sort of quit and left the band. But Graham Bonnet is on vocals. Anthrax. Yeah, I've seen that before. Need to show any more Anthrax. Okay, Anvil, Canadian band. I think it's their first album. Liner sleeve. Quite like them at the time. Haven't listened to it for years. This is the second Anvil album. There's a track on here called 666. I've got it in my mind, I might be wrong, but I've got it in my mind that they once held the record as being the loudest heavy metal band. I don't know whether it's some sort of thing that they did for the Guinness Book of Records or something like that. I could be completely wrong. Another Canadian band, April Wine. Because it's not really metal, is it really? That hard rock. This is a Japanese band called Bow Wow. Now, I've got more records by this band, but they changed their name, I think sometime in the 80s, the mid-80s, to Bow Wow rather than Bow Wow. Basically it was when Neil Murray came of Whitesnake fame. Well, Neil Murray's been in many bands, Black Sabbath. I think he's probably been in most bands at one time or other. Whitesnake, which is no good one. Anyway, he joined, Bow Wow, and they became Bow Wow. And he was on board for a while, but I understand they've changed their name back again. This is a live album by them. I think they're a bit more trad metal, sort of when they were called Bow Wow, and then they kind of got a little bit more slick with the Bow Wow name change. So that's all the A's. I'm going to start off with the B's because I don't have many B's, and I was going to show this one. This one is, I think, particularly rare. It's a Swedish heavy metal band called Burn. There's not an awful lot of information out there on the internet about this band or this record even. There's the label. So this came out in 1983. I think it's the only album that they actually made. They may have made some sort of other sort of EPs and things like that, but yeah. In fact, this was one that I did consider actually doing a Stomp the VC video with. I would be surprised if anybody out there has this record, but if you have, by all means show me. I'd quite like to see it. I think, yeah, you can listen to this album on YouTube if you look hard enough. Okay, so that's A to B. The next video will be continuing on from this. Thanks very much for watching.